welcome to this episode of Waynesboro at Work. I'm your host, Brooke Anderson, and this is a podcast where we talk with entrepreneurs, business leaders, and business owners about the origin stories of their business, the passion they have for their work and why, and a little bit of everything in between. Today, I'm really excited to be joined by Kylie Miller, who is a longtime employee of Fastrax in Waynesboro. So welcome to the show, Kylie.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Thanks for joining us. And for people that might not be familiar with Fastrax, what is Fastrax all about?
Fastrax, we have go-karts and an arcade, batting cages, and putt-putt. So a lot of family fun stuff.
Awesome. Yes, I know I have driven by quite a few times and seen people having a lot of fun out there. And so kind of like a family fun center, it sounds like people of all ages can have a great time there.
Yes. We have stuff for little kids. We have go-karts for kids 3 years and older can drive, and all the way out to adults, stuff for everyone in between.
Awesome. So I happen to know that you've been there for 12 years. So what first got you interested in working at Fastrax?
So it was kind of a family establishment. My uncle was the owner at the time, and my grandmother ran a lot of the inside. She would work insides on weekends and things. And so she decided that I needed a job and that I should start working at Fastrax. So
awesome.
That's kind of what brought me there. Although my uncle loved to tell people that I would say when I was little that I was going to run the place. So
well, you've been there for 12 years, so you probably have a pretty good depth of knowledge about all the things that happen there, right?
Yeah. I definitely ended up there for quite some time now.
So how has Fastrax changed or progressed, from when you first started working there to now?
So when I first started working there, we changed a little bit because we were working we were a 7 days a week kind of place. We were open all the time in the afternoons. We've shifted our hours a little bit just because of the difficulties everyone's having with employment and having enough people to work. So we're mostly weekends now, and we have changed owners. We have a new owner this year. So, and that's brought its own changes. We've kind of jumped into the technical age. We have a whole new system for register and Wi-Fi, which was a big jump for us. We were very low tech. So we're kind of moving into the digital age now.
Got it. So low tech, but all about the fun. But now you're kind of moving into that digital age that everybody is going to be a part of, like it or not.
Yeah, right.
Awesome. So, I think we think about, fun centers like that. And, it all just seems very exciting and fun. And when you're experiencing it, what are some of the challenges of running a business like Fastrax?
Workers has been a big difficulty for a lot of people, but us as well. When I first started working there, it was a lot of family, and as we all kind of got older, we had to pull in some more high schoolers, and we had a lot of long-term people that kind of transitioned out. So getting people to work has been a difficulty. But and then COVID obviously was a big challenge for everyone. We were closed that year for COVID. And so that was a big change for all of us. I mean, that was the first time we had kind of closed down for such a long time.
Right, exactly. So, as someone that's as heavily invested in this business as you are, what was that like for you to just, everything's kind of going along fine, and then suddenly we're all hit with COVID and businesses are shutting down. And at first we think it's going to be 2 weeks, and then it's, sometimes 2 years or even forever. What was that like for you personally, just as a long-term employee of Fastrax?
So the week before everything actually shut down, we were scheduled to open because we're typically open, spring through the fall. And we were looking at opening up that year in March. And my uncle had called me and said, well, I'm not sure what to do. What do you think we should do? And I said, well, maybe we wait a weekend, see what things kind of pan out. And then the next Monday or Tuesday, everything was shut down. So we didn't have much of a chance to kind of figure things out then. And so we were closed for that summer, and it was very strange. It was the first summer I wasn't working there in, 11 years at that point. So it was a new experience. And I think it was hard, especially, for my aunt and uncle being away for a year was a new experience, because they spent all their time there for many, many years, just kind of all the time working. So
Right.
it was a challenge for everybody, but coming back, I think everyone realized that during COVID, those places where you can go and have fun and just spend time together are really, really important. And everyone missed that so much. So
Yes.
when we opened up again in 2021, it was huge. We had a lot of people coming by, because everyone was just looking for something to do outside of the house.
Yes.
And trying to get back to, everyone's trying to get back to some sort of normalcy. So
Yes.
2021 was interesting, because everyone's trying to figure out, how do we work with this? How do we kind of move forward? And we worked our way through. But it was definitely eye-opening to see just how much everyone missed being out and together with other people. And you would think, go-karts, arcade, it's not a necessity, it's just something we do for fun. But it was really important to people to be able to get back to just enjoying themselves.
So, Kylie, I think you bring up so many good points. When we were all locked down during COVID and weren't able to spend that quality time together, at least for me, the point was really driven home about how important experiences are. And so to me, it would make perfect sense why people were very anxious and thrilled to come back to Fastrax. And like you said, you could look at it like, okay, well, arcades or go-karts, like maybe those aren't essential, but it sure felt essential to like our mental health to get out again and start just having some plain old fun with one another.
Yeah, we definitely saw a lot of that after COVID.
Yes, for sure. So I know that you told us how you kind of landed on this job, but what is it about the job that you love so much?
Well, my family was a large part of it. Getting to work with them all the time was great. I loved it. I got to spend a lot more time with my grandmother and my aunt and uncle that I wouldn't have. And so that was a lot of fun getting into that. But I also, grew up at Fastrax. It has been there my whole life. So I was running around and having fun as a kid there. And so it's really cool to get to come back and kind of growing up now there from a teenager, into my adulthood, and spending time watching other families hang out. And that's been one of my favorite experiences, is just seeing the families grow up. There's so many kids who, when I was working there, started coming in riding the kiddie carts. They were real tiny, and now they're all grown up. I've had some people come
Yeah.
back on their first dates with someone, and
Oh,
just watching the families go in and out and having a good time has been a great experience. Lots of fun.
that's really cool. Like it must definitely be so fulfilling to see, like you said, people like coming back and
Mhm.
kind of coming there at all different ages. So when you were a kid there, what were your favorite things to do?
Oh, well, I was heavy into the arcade games. I
Okay.
didn't do the go-karts so much. I liked, the kiddie carts, and I liked riding around with my dad in the bigger go-karts. But it was mostly the arcade games that I enjoyed.
Guy.
We had a couple that we still have that are still trucking along that I played as a kid. So that's kind of
Nice.
fun.
So we could have found you in the arcade room then.
Oh yeah.
So you've seen, over more than a decade, all the kind of iterations that Fast Tracks has taken and, seeing your family work in the business and then working alongside them eventually. What sort of advice do you have for people that might be budding entrepreneurs, or maybe they're even in the thick of it already? Like, what are some of the pieces of advice that you would give to somebody else that is also pursuing owning their own business?
I think I've just seen the importance of really loving and being heavily invested in that. The pride that my aunt and uncle took in the place and the new owner, you know, it makes a tremendous difference, I think, to people when they come to your business and they see how much the owners care about that and how invested they are. But also at the same time, making sure that, you know, you're still living your life, you're still taking care of yourself while you're taking care of your business is really important.
Yes, I think you bring up an excellent point there too, which is like the work-life balance. And it's super hard. I hear from so many entrepreneurs where, you know, they're burning the midnight oil and doing all those things. And like you said, you know, there's just something different. It feels different when you're the owner of a business or a family member that's working in your family business and like you make a sale or something. I remember seeing a video where, you know, it was a camera that was in a small business and somebody bought something from the store and the two women working kind of ducked down behind the counter and like were giving themselves high fives because, you know, you really put your heart and soul into all of that. And it's more than just, you know, transactional. There's a lot of passion that goes in it. So can we expect any more exciting developments from Fastrax in the near future, or what do you have planned there coming up?
So I think our new owner is hoping to kind of keep revamping our machines. We're kind of pulling out some of the old things and hopefully getting some new things in, new exciting stuff. And I think he hopes to be open throughout the winter time. We're
Okay.
still waiting to see how that works out. But we know that everyone loves to have a place to go.
Yes.
So he's hoping to keep the arcade open at least because, you know, go-karts are not quite a wintertime sport. They don't do so well in the
Right.
cold, but he's hoping to keep the arcade open through the winter, we hope.
Well, that's very exciting news for sure, because like you said, sometimes, you know, the winter can be challenging and you get cabin fever and you just want to get out and do something exciting and fun. So we'll stay tuned to see how that all develops. And, you know, the podcast is called Waynesboro at Work. And so obviously we're focused on businesses in Waynesboro. Why do you think Waynesboro is such a good place to have a business?
Well, I've seen the tremendous growth in Waynesboro. You know, when I was a little kid, I remember, you know, we didn't even have a Walmart where, you know, where the go-kart track is. We're so close to that. And that whole area has just developed tremendously. And so the growth in Waynesboro, and then just also, you know, the location between cities, we get so many people that come traveling through on their way to somewhere else that they might stop, you know, for the weekend or for a few days. And so it really is just a growing, busy area.
Yeah. Yeah. I think, you know, that's echoed with a lot of people that I talk with. It's very exciting, you know, even it seems like almost like on a monthly basis to see what new things are happening in Waynesboro. And the other thing I've heard a lot is just how supportive that entrepreneurial community is in Waynesboro. And we know how important it is for, you know, business owners, business leaders, not to feel like they're an island to themselves, because that can be a hard part of all of this as well. So Kylie, what are some of the ways that Fastrax contributes to the community of Waynesboro outside of the service that you're offering there?
So we have in the past, we've donated tickets for go-karts and batting cages and things like that to different organizations when they have raffles or giveaways and things. A lot of time for fundraisers and stuff. But and then also just, you know, we're hiring students in the community, hiring young people to. A lot of people got their first start there as their first job, including me. But and just being a place for the community to go and spend time.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, how can people find out more information about Fastrax?
So we have a Facebook page that we try to update with anything important with hours and things. But yeah, just come stop by.
All right. And tell us exactly where you're located.
We are at 1110 Red Top Orchard Roads. We're right next to the Super 8 and the Cracker Barrel.
Well, thank you for all the things that you guys are doing over there at Fastrax. If you are someone looking for a job, it sounds like there's some availability there. Like you said, giving a lot of times high school students their first job out in the community is super important. And if you're looking for something fun to do with the family, head on over there because it sounds like everybody can find something fun to do at Fastrax. And for everybody listening, thank you so much for joining us. We'll be back with more episodes of Waynesboro at Work. So make sure to check out our YouTube channel, Spotify. And if you want to learn more about the Waynesboro businesses that we're speaking about or others that are in the community, check out waynesborobusiness.com and growwaynesboro.com. Until next time, stay safe and be well.